Ric Flair, always a favourite of our news stories, his foul-mouthed rant on critics of his last match after winning, in quotation marks, Wrestling Observer Newsletter's most disgusting promotional tactic of 2022. Here is the quote he said, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit. "You know what I got to say to that? I made $300,000. Go F yourselves." This is to the voters, apparently. "That's right. I made $300,000 disgusting you. Disgust yourself of $300,000 and get in the shape that I got. How about that, mother effers?"
Get in the shape he got. Damn, I would just take a fifth of liquor to get in the shape he was in. Is he talking about physical shape? He looked like hell. He looked like, and we've talked about this before. I thought he was going to die. I thought the guy was going to die in the ring. And as far as making $300,000, I don't think he made that. What did the promoter make? Did he promote it himself, or did
this was the Conrad Thompson thing?
Conrad,
so, yeah.
But I'm sure that was a 50-50 deal, I guess. I'm sure. Because you're not going to do it for nothing. And yeah, they drew a great house in the Nashville Civic Coliseum. It holds about 7,000 people. It's an old arena, but still a functioning arena. It still works. But I don't know if he made $300,000. But if he did, so what? I don't know.
Yeah,
I was disappointed, and he ripped the fans off. And even he planned, and I've said this before, the layout of the match was wrong. Why didn't they let his son-in-law do the sell part and Rick make the comeback instead of him going in there and trying to sell and then winning the match? And he was sweating like a Russian racehorse. And I've had people write me and said, I thought he was going to, seriously, people thought he was going to die. And I think he passed out a time or two in there. He doesn't even remember it. He doesn't even remember it. So Ric Flair now is trying to leave a legacy, and he should have left it alone or changed a lot of things in that match because his legacy now is tarnished. I don't know. Ric Flair is full of shit. It always has been.
With Rick, I'll mention a couple of things here. Is one, he's all of a sudden turned into the thinnest skinned wrestler in the world. It's like no one can criticize him for anything, even when it's glaringly obvious. Like he's fallen out with... In fact, there was a video I put out there with Shane Douglas where he had to specifically address it, even though for the most part Shane was being very nice about him. But then he just buries Shane for, how dare he go out into the real world and get a job, and a good job as well. But, he's got it in for Shane, and Shane has got it in for Rick, and the other thing is, as you picked up on there, Ric Flair's shape. I got into the shape I was in. My dad is 5 years older, and I swear he can run. He can still run. He's 78. He can climb. He's in good shape. Ric Flair was like, as you said, like what awful. I can't even finish a sentence about how bad of a shape he turned up in. And also, do you think he went in there knowing that he was going to rip the fans off performance-wise?
No, I don't think he went in there knowing that. I don't think he thinks that far ahead. I think he thinks immediate future, and let's go do this match and let's get out of it. And I don't know. It was just an awful performers. They say never meet your heroes because it's going to be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. But a lot of them got exposed to Rick. And I think if they had another match that he said, this is my last one, I don't think he'd do a fourth as good as this one would do. Unless they just had one hell of an undercard. And people want to see that instead of seeing Flair. What would have really been bad if him and Steamboat had done it?
Ooh, singles match.
Can you imagine Rick trying to pull the whole load? He couldn't have gone 5 minutes. And they said he was drunk when he went in there. To me, that's totally, totally disrespectful to the people that made him, to the fans that made Ric Flair, for him to go in there and disrespect them. And as for his comment, F you, to all the people who knocked the match or whatever he was mad about, the fans should be saying it to him. Screw you, Flair. And the tickets weren't cheap for that match either. I don't know what the ringside was. I think it's like $50 or $100. That's a pretty expensive ticket for just a big independent show. Even Ric Flair was on it. But I would never, ever say F you to the fans who knocked me for a legitimate reason. At least I have sense enough to know that I can't go in the ring and have a match. I wouldn't even, you couldn't melt and pour me into a ring. I mean, you just could melt me and put me in a cup and just pour me into the ring, because I would refuse to do it. And one thing is, I know I have a bad knee now and a limp and everything else. But even if I didn't have that, I couldn't go in there and do it because I would blow up. And blow up means run out of steam, run out of air. And Rick was blowed about 30 seconds in. You could see him already sucking wind. And he's already had a heart attack. That's why people thought that he was going to die. I'm glad he didn't. I'm pretty sure that he's glad he didn't too. But it was really a slap in the fans' face to pay all that money to see him in that condition that he was in. Plus, he got drunk and I don't know what. He said he was sick, and he made all kind of excuses. Rick, you're just too old to do it. And you can't, damn sure. He may have done it before when he was halfway drunk, I guess. I mean, I don't think I could do it, even back when I was starting out. If I got hammered to go into to a ring, I couldn't perform. It would just be, I don't know, it'd be a mess. But not the mess that Ric Flair ended up with.
Yeah, I mean, he went in, he knew he was injured, he probably may have been able to do something several months beforehand, but he knew before the match he was injured, and then he got drunk as well. So, I mean,